Welcome to Desert Isle Crafting. I'm Christy. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I hope you're having a really good day and you had a great week. Today's Saturday, the 28th of October, and today is Stitch with Me. I haven't done one of these in a while. I apologize for that. Things just have been really hectic with my husband. So he's taken a rest, and I thought now would be a perfect time to come in here and start a new project. Now this project is, I'm going to show you the paper pattern picture. It's a little clearer. It's one of the kits I showed you earlier this week from a company called 7 Great. This is the bee with the flower, and I just thought this picture was just so pretty. And for those of you that have not cross-stitched before or have questions about it, I thought I would just give a real quick rundown of how I'm getting started with this. Here are the instructions that came with the kit, and it's really, really very easy. I just picked a spot. So I picked down here in the corner, floss number 37, and it tells you the symbol and the DMC code for the floss. And then I went to the floss card and I pulled out a strand of number 37. And when I originally started this a couple minutes ago, I don't know where my mind was, but this is an 11 count fabric, Aida, so I need 3 strands. Well, I pulled out 2 strands and I started stitching away down here, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh no, it's supposed to be 3 strands. So I ripped it all out and started over again. I'm so glad I didn't do that in front of you guys. It was embarrassing. But and a waste of time, huge waste of time. So with 11 count, because you want fuller coverage, you will use 3 strands, and you just put it in your needle. With these stamped canvases, I do knot them on the back. If it was a different fabric and I was doing a really nice counted cross stitch, I would work it in on the back. I wouldn't knot it. But with these canvases, yeah, it's not that important to me. And then what I did too was to try to make it a little softer and easier to hold, I rolled it up, I scrunched it, I did, I really abused this canvas, trying to make it softer to hold. I'm not going to put this in a hoop because I don't need to. It's still, it's getting, and it'll get softer as I work on it. But yeah, I wouldn't put this in a hoop. It's stiff enough that you can hold it in your hand. It's not going to warp with your stitches or move with your stitches, and it's going to keep its shape. So it's just easier for me to do it that way. The great thing about cross stitch is you can just be you. I mean, you can do it any way you want to do it. If you want to put it in a hoop, you can. A lot of people sew sideways. I can't do that. It hurts my wrist too bad. So I go up and down, and that's how I do it. I've tried to do it that way, and I just can't. I can't do that. My wrist is just not forgiving enough for that. So that's what I do, is I go up and down. So here you see that I've started, and I'm going to move the camera down now a little bit closer, and hopefully it will focus. So don't be concerned, because you can still kind of see the purple behind those stitches. When you are finished with your picture and you rinse this all out, 1, all this color is going to disappear, and 2, these threads are going to fluff up when they're dry, so they will cover more of the square than what you see right now. So don't let that worry you, thinking, oh no, you're still going to be able to see the white or the purple. And really, when you have this framed and hanging on your wall, people aren't going to get super up close to see if there's white behind your floss. From a distance, no one's going to ever see it. So don't worry about that. So I threaded my needle and I started stitching, and this is so easy. I mean, my grandmother taught me to cross stitch when I was in elementary school. It's a great craft. They've got great kids pictures, a great craft for teaching kids how to do some handicrafts. And these are, in a lot of ways, with everything manufactured and computerized, and these stitch by hand things are getting to be a bit of a lost art, and I see popularity coming back. And I'd like to, just make sure it gets passed on to the younger generation so that they will continue doing it too. There's a lot of pleasure, and I kind of think of it as therapy, doing cross stitch or doing sewing or doing some kind of craft. And then to look back when you're done and say, wow, I made that. That is really cool. I did that. I think it's just a great feeling. So what have I been up to lately? I have just got finished starching and ironing about 11 yards of fabric. I starched it all last night. I'd gone to the 99-cent store and got a stand-up clothes dryer hanger thing. And so I put it all on that to dry overnight. And with living in the desert out here and with it not being humid at all, things dry really fast. So, of course, it was fine this morning. So then I steam ironed it all straight, and that was a job. Not my favorite thing, but I figured it's got to be done. And from what I've been reading, starching your fabric first is what they recommend, so that you want to get the straightest cuts that you can. Let me try to make sure this stays in front of the camera. I did want to show you that a picture of the first quilt that I'm going to be making. My husband wants it, so this is it. It's called Labyrinth Walk. It has got a gazillion pieces, so my next move will be to cut out all the pieces. And it's going to end up being 84 by 84, so that's pretty big, but that's what he asked for, so he deserves it. That's what he gets. We'll see how long it takes me to do that. I'm kind of excited about it because it's something I swore I would never do, and then here we go. Never say never, right? So I'm kind of happy about that. And then let's see what else. It's cooled down here, thankfully, finally. The last 2-3 days, it's been in the high 90s up until about 2-3 days ago. Oh, now see, I got a little bit of a snarl. So just pull it out, straighten it up, and then slowly pull it through. Yeah, so it's actually was in the 60s overnight. I've got all the doors open. And it's supposed to be a high of 70 here on Monday, and windy. And that's the one thing I really don't like, is we get some crazy winds out here that are just normal. My dad says that we have two kinds of weather where I live: hot and windy or cold and windy. And the wind hasn't been too bad lately, but we actually have wind warnings. And I have a lake about 3 miles up the road from me, so they have lake effect wind warnings, so that's going to be really, really interesting. Just make sure there's nothing out there to fly around. So I want to do a giveaway, and I've mentioned it in my videos this week. And I want to make it open to everybody, regardless of where you live. So the giveaway packages are going to be smaller than my normal 5 kits. And I hope you guys understand. It's just because postage is ridiculous, and it keeps going up all the time. So I was thinking last night of a way to make entry really easy, and I had watched a video of a lady, and she was doing a giveaway, and she had everyone email her if they wanted to be entered into the giveaway. And for a second I thought, well, that might not be a bad idea, but then I thought, well, what if somebody doesn't have email? I had a winner of my last giveaway who had internet but didn't have email, and she won, and she needed to email me her address, so she had to end up using her son's phone a few days later to send me an email, and which was a great thing, because I was thinking, oh, she didn't want her winning package, and she did. But I don't, there could be other people out there who have internet and no email. I mean, it's possible, right? So I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do what I've just always done in the past, where you need to be a subscriber, and I will be checking, and then you'll have to comment something down in the comments of the video to be entered. So I think that is probably the easiest way to do it. Oh, and the way I'm stitching, where I go one row in one direction and turn around, and that's just the way I've been doing it. But I read something the other day that when you do it that way, your stitches lay flatter instead of making just an X at a time, a full X at a time. So I've never really investigated that to see if it's true, but I thought that was interesting. And I'm sorry I'm having such a hard time with this needle, but I can't see. And with the camera and stuff, it's just, I use a magnifier a whole lot, either those glasses or one that I clamp on the edge of my desk. But I find that when I stitch this way, it can go pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. And with some of these bigger canvases on the full coverage, I think you want to go as fast as you can to get them done, right? In the giveaway, I think there will be, okay, here's the way it's going to work. So I'll have you comment down in the comments if you want to be entered, and then we will do the spinning wheel with everybody's name on it at the end of the week. And I will show you what the package is, and then we'll spin and get a name for a winner, and we'll probably do that. I'll probably have 3 or 4 winners, I think, because I have a whole lot of kits that I am never ever going to get to, and they're taking up so much room, and I would much rather give them to one of you who I know will love them and do them, because I'm not going to sell them. That would not be right. And I'd much rather give them to one of you, one of my viewers that watches these videos and likes this craft. So some of the I think I'm going to have, because I have quite a few Christmas kits, not all the packages, because not everybody celebrates Christmas, but some of the packages I think will have Christmas kits in them. And then if your name comes up on the spinning wheel and you don't want that the kits in that package, then we'll just deal with it from there, because I want everybody to be happy. I'm sorry, I just can't see. Here we go. So I went, let's see what else is going on. Last week I found a local quilt shop, and I was just shocked when I walked in the door. It was actually really cool. Lots of fabric. And they offer classes, so they offered a class, because I just got this new machine that I had never used before with this brand. And they offered classes on getting to know your machine and what it can do. So I took a class. I took it down there and took a class with a real nice lady, and she showed me some of the things that it could do. And I'm not really into machine embroidery, but it was really cool to see that it could do those kind of things. So I like that. And then they have all these other classes, and they actually even had a basket class, I think, today. Huh. That's good. So next Saturday, I signed up for a tote bag class that is fabric. Come on, where's that hole? It's fabric and mesh. So I think I'm actually going to make it out of this fabric here, because I love this fabric. I love Roadrunners. We get them in our backyard every day, and my husband and I sit out there every day, and we have a little Roadrunner family with a mama and a daddy and the babies, and they come and they drink out of our spa. That is their Seems to be their source of water for not just them, but for quite a few birds. So they'll come over, and they're not afraid of you at all, and they're just magnificent. They're beautiful birds. I absolutely love them. So I found this fabric online, and I just thought, yeah, that'd be perfect. And then I got some brown grungy contrasting fabric and some white mesh to go with the white on here. So we'll see how that turns out. And if I can actually do it, because I've never made anything like that before, I will show you guys. But I'm looking forward to that. And let's see what else. I think so my husband and I get tired of watching the same old thing all the time. So I ended up subscribing to BritBox, and we have watched some really good shows, and some British and Scottish shows. Most of them are cop shows, but for some reason they just seem to be so well done that I ended up also subscribing to Acorn TV because it's not very expensive, and they had a British show on there called Happy Valley, and oh my gosh, it's about a female cop who's in like her 50s, getting ready to retire. And if it wasn't just one thing after another that happened to this woman, and it was only 2 or 3 seasons. It didn't last for very long, and it's a new show. I mean it's current. It's not something that's been out there for years. And I love the actress in this show, and it was just so good. It was a little slow at first, but we got into it, and was really sad when it was over. So if you do have Acorn TV, I recommend Happy Valley. And then I watched a show on Netflix this week called The Fall of the House of Usher. Fall of the House of Usher. And it's actually, and I'd forgotten all about this. Let me try to get this thread straightened out because it got a little snarly. It's actually an Edgar Allan Poe poem that they have made into like a mini-series, modern day, about a family, a wealthy family. And it was also really slow to start with. I was watching the first episode, and it was just plodding along, and my daughter had said, you got to watch the show, and I talked to her, and she's like, no, stick with it. Don't give up. It gets better. Trust me. Well, she was right. It was really good. And it's about this wealthy family and their downfall. And there's a reason why there's a downfall. And there's a reason why I cannot get that needle in that hole. Yeah, creepy. Very creepy, but very well done. In fact, my husband, TV critic that he is, said it was one of the most well-written shows he's seen in a long time, which is saying a lot for a guy who just wants to watch golf and football. It's kind of funny. I love him to bits. He's a good man. He's a really good man. And he plays this golf game on his phone called Golf Clash. And he's been playing this golf game every single day for 8 years. At least 8 years. Doesn't miss a day, doesn't miss a tournament. Has 2 different logins so he can play 2 different guys. And that's it. And then he watches golf like crazy. But does he play it? Nope. Doesn't play it. Won't play it. I've offered to get him some clubs. We live on a golf course, keep in mind. We watch the golfers every day out there. He is surrounded by golf not just where we live, but with his hobby of his little game and watching TV. Sometimes I'm feeling around. I can't get this. Hold on a second. There we go. But he won't play it. I just find it kind of funny. But then I guess the same could be said for football fans or baseball fans who watch the games and play them on their game systems or their phones, and yet they don't go out there and play those sports either. But he's just so funny about it. He'll get so mad about it too, because some days he can win on that game and other days he can't. And then when I take a break from stitching, I have a little game I play on my phone. That's this Match 3, because I want to keep my brain sharp, right? And I play that not quite, pretty much every day for just a little period of time when I just want to give my hands a break from stitching, because I do something every single day. I do some sort of stitching every single day. I made a couple Christmas ornaments in wool, and I'll be showing you guys those soon. I just have to finish up the last little bit. I bought some gold cording at Joann's the other day to make the hangers for them. Okay, come on. There you are. So once I get the hangers on them and finish up the little last bit of detail stitching, I'll show you guys those. I think they're really cute. I made a reindeer one and poinsettia one. What have you guys been? What have you all? I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep saying you guys. What have you all been up to? How are you? What's new with you? Now see, that thread's behind it, so it doesn't wanna. It's kind of in my way. I think when I'm done here, I'm going to try to start cutting out some fabric. As long as the cat is sleeping with the husband. Because Miss Sammy, who does make some meowing appearances on my video, has decided she's an old cat. So I kind of let her be the queen bee. She's decided that she likes to sit up on top of my sewing table, because it's in front of the window here in this room, and she can look outside. We don't have a house set up where we have a living room with a front window. Our living room is in the back. So even though her cat tree is by right next to the sliding glass door out in the living room, she doesn't sit up on it. She just goes up there to eat, because I feed her on her cat tree, because I have 2 little dogs, and one of them will eat herself to death if I allow her. So I have to keep the cat food up. So I feed her on her cat tree. And she's got plenty of places to sit. She used to sit up there and look out the window, but she doesn't. And then when we lost her sister in February, Ellie, she had her cat tree too, so I left it in the living room. So there's actually 2 cat trees in the living room by the sliding glass door. Okay, I'm having a bit of a problem again. There we go. So, I don't know. You know, cats are weird. But she sure does like to sit. Now that it's cool, I can open up the window here. Open up the window and let the fresh air in. Oh, that's the wrong spot. What did I do? Hold on a minute. I get distracted because I can't talk and stitch at the same time. Okay. Let me pull this back out. get this threaded again. I love those threaders. They're just so easy. If I tried to do this with thread a needle with my eyes, no. That would just not work. And it looks like I missed a thread here. So let me pull it out again. Okay, I missed a strand. Make sure I've got all three. Alright, there we go. That's better. So really, it's just so easy to do this cross stitch. Just follow your color, whatever color you're working on. Just fill in the squares. Super easy. And I'm now at a point where I can't just sit in front of the TV anymore and just watch TV. I can't do that. It drives me crazy. So I have to stitch when I sit there and watch TV. And I have a little table next to my chair with a light on it. I got one of those table aught lights. I suppose I could use wax with this floss, but I'm not going to. I save the wax for the silk kits. And there might even be a silk kit in the giveaway too, because I have quite a few. You know, I watched Stitching with Laura, and she just is so fast. But she does it sideways, which I can't do. But I plod along, I get it done. I'm not really in any big hurry. As long as it gets done, that's all I care about. And I do enjoy it. I mean, it's almost like therapy, unless you can't find your needle hole, like right now. And then it's frustration. But it's like, stitching is like therapy. I felt the same way about diamond painting too. Oh, you know what I was wondering about is, do you all, I think that might be a giveaway entry question next week on Monday, is what other crafts you guys do besides cross stitch? Some of you might only do cross stitch, and that's fine, but do you do any other crafts besides cross stitch? I know I've been doing the wool applique, and now I'm starting to do some sewing, but I think we're just going to end it right there because my thread's getting short. Well, let me show you how I ended on the back. So let me thread this needle again. Yeah, my thread's getting short. It's time to end this one. Okay, let's see. Go in there, pull it through. Oh, I didn't get all the strands. Hold on, let me try it again. Because one of them's gotten really short. I hate that when that happens. Okay. Let me hold on to it a little bit tighter. Okay. There. So then what I do is I'll just take my needle and I'll just run it underneath some stitches. I usually do. Some people do 2. I might do 4 or 5. Run it underneath like that. And then I'll take my scissors and then just cut that. And then that way it holds it down and it's not going to come out. So that's what little bit we got done today. I hope you enjoyed this stitch with me, and I hope you all have a great weekend. So take care, have a good day, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Thank you for watching. Bye.